is my favorite part. It's just me and no one else. Hello. Oh my goodness. Yay. Okay, let's see if I can click the buttons. Hello.
What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, awesome. What's rocking?
While we wait for the room to fill up a little bit, I am super excited about this. Street photography is my first love. We've done a lot of fashion and beauty photographers for this series, which is fine, but I
Yeah,
feel like street photography is underappreciated.
you damn right. So, no, that's awesome. No, I think no. First of all, let me say thank you for having me on here. To be on, like, yeah, thanks for having me. But no, I think well, the thing about street photography is so many great varieties. Like, you can capture people, you can capture that mailbox that what I'm saying, that someone might not even notice, and you just make it into something very artistic. But no, I think we're getting our due. Especially with social media and everything. But
Yes.
yeah, I think we're getting our due. But
I think social media has made a huge difference because before before social media really hit its stride, I feel like my introduction to street photography was in books. I read books from like Jamel Shabazz, Gordon Parks, Ouija, Teeny Harris, excuse me. That's the only place I was seeing street photography. I didn't see it in galleries or in like huge print sales.
Same, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but like that was kind of the same for me. Mine kind of started like in the blog era, like 2000, like 2000, like when I was in college, like 2010, like 2009. Like one of my first blogs was the Satoralist, Scott Schumann, and that's kind of how I fell in love. But yeah, it was like the blog era for me, just seeing it on like actual website.
Yeah.
And Instagram came, and they started sharing on there. But yeah, but mine came from the blog era, and seeing it on, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So some people are coming in. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, awesome.
First question. Who is Chancellor? Like, tell me everything I need to know about who you are.
All right. Well, it all started in 1988. I'm Chancellor Humphrey. I'm very comfortable now saying just artist, because I'm so interested in so many things, and I want to do so many things, and I feel like and just create things outside of photography. But photography is my love, one of my loves. But originally from Aliquippa, born and raised in the 724. Being from Aliquippa, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like a lot of people from outside of Pittsburgh, we always looked at Pittsburgh like the big city. Like, we going we going into Pittsburgh this weekend. We going to Burlington to get a coat, like whatever. But like we always looked at it as big, and as to what I do now, I think that's really helped me and kind of see Pittsburgh as a little bit more romantic from the outside looking in. But yeah, born and raised in Aliquippa. I moved to the city in 2014, and I kind of fell into photography. Like growing up, I played sports. Like I played basketball, football my whole life, and then once I got to college, still played basketball at Penn State Beaver, and then I had to go to the main campus for broadcast. My background was in radio.
Okay.
And so I had to go to the main campus, like all these kids. It was a great experience. I met my best friends there. But in that time, like I had to leave school. Like finances, I had to leave. And then I came back home, and that's kind of where like I really kind of tapped into. Can I swear on here? I don't want to swear. like what the fuck I liked. Like, like kind of like what, I've always been interested in creating and interviewing and radio, but like outside of once that ended outside of college, it was kind of trying to figure out what to do, and that's kind of where I started blogging, and that's kind of how this whole thing got going.
Awesome. So I got an audience question. Someone wants to know, what do you use to shoot on the street?
Yeah, so I use a Canon 5D Mark III 5D, 5D, but I use a 50 millimeter
Wow.
1.4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like literally it's the only thing I'll use, and I think when I do upgrade, I'm gonna get the Mark IV. Like I just love Canon. I love Marks. I love my 50 millimeter. That's primarily what I use. Actually, that's all I use on the streets is my 50 millimeter. But yeah,
that's funny. I shoot with an 85, which I feel like is a really common answer because you get the length of a telephoto, but it's not quite as intimidating as some of your longer lenses. But I shoot on a 60 and a 60 Mark II, depending on the day. But I love Canon. I'll never switch.
Like I always tell people, like, because one of my good friends, he shoots Nikon, and like he's the same way. He's never leaving Nikon. But like I just feel like even before I touch the editing, like even before I hit Lightroom, like it already has some richness to it, which I like. I always like that. So that's why I love Canon.
My first camera was an AE1, and I just fell in love with the way that it produces colors. It's unmatched in my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah, I'm never switching up unless like the crazy brand deal comes, and I'm just like, what you?
Okay, so next question. You talked about this a little bit, but what exactly is Keep Pittsburgh Dope?
Yeah. So dope, like literally, I mean, a lot of people say dope, but I've been saying dope since, I was a kid, and just, describing thing as something that's cool or whatever. But, yeah, so how the name came about was, I used to be a fan of a show called Portlandia. Mm-hmm. It used to be on like IFC, and like it took place in Portland, and like the intro, it would flash all these different parts of Portland. And then like on one of the walls, it was like a mural that said, "Keep Portland Weird." And at this time, I was kind of like, I knew I was going to do this. Like, I knew I was going to capture street style in Pittsburgh. I knew this is like, nobody was doing it here. And it was still kind of trying to think of a name. And I saw that, and it just like, it immediately, it clicked. And I was like, yo, that's exactly what I want to do. Like, that's exactly what I want the outside to see when they look into Pittsburgh. Like, of course they know the Steelers. Of course they know like the Penguins and Pirates. And some celebrities, but overall, that's kind of like what we're known for. So I wanted to like, yo, we're doper than that. Like, yo, we're iller than that. So I wanted to do my part by showcasing, cool people on the streets, interesting people on the streets. But yeah, that's where it came from. That's where it started.
Cool. So I have to ask. So I moved to Pittsburgh in 2017. I moved here from Miami, and the question I get a lot is, why the hell would you move to Pittsburgh? What's so great about Pittsburgh? And I'm like, either you get it or you don't. I feel like you either love Philly and hate Pittsburgh, or you love Pittsburgh and hate Philly, and you either get it or you don't. I can't explain it, but so I have to ask, like, you're born and raised in the area, but what is it about Pittsburgh? What is it that makes Pittsburgh dope?
Yeah, it's like, yo, you literally, like, I know you articulated it perfect. It's like you can't describe it, man. And it's so funny you say you moved from Miami. Like, my best friend is from Jersey, who I met at school, but he's lived in Miami for 10 years, and he just moved back to New York for a job opportunity, and he hates the cold. Like, he's like kind of sad to be back, and like, but every time he comes to Pittsburgh, he loves it. Like, all my friends that come into town, they love it. They really can't describe it because it's like, it's not big. Like, they just love the feeling they get. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, just the small little boutiques and the shops and the little restaurants, and it's just like it's a whole vibe. Like, that's just the way I can describe it. But yeah, and it's just like, for the most part, you know, for the most part, everybody is pretty nice. Like, you know, like you go to other cities, like, you know, no one really cares about what you're doing, which I kind of like. People just kind of in their own zone. But here, you know, you might get away from a random stranger, you know. And you might have a bad day. Like on one day it might hit different, like, yo, why is this weirdo waving at me? But on one day it hit like, damn, I needed that. Like so, but I think it's just it's a warm city with a lot of potential. Like a lot of things haven't been tapped in yet. And I feel like that's exciting too, you know. So but yeah.
I think one of the things that I keep coming back to is for as big as Pittsburgh and I guess the metro area is, and it's quite large, but you have 90 odd neighborhoods plus all of the surrounding boroughs, and each one feels like its own small town.
Right.
If you're from Wilkinsburg, you can live your whole life in Wilkinsburg.
Right.
If you're from East Liberty, you can live your whole life in East Liberty. Same goes for Carrick or Dormont. It's a city, but it feels like cities within cities, and you get all of that warmth and all of that neighborhood belonging in Pittsburgh that I feel like you don't get a lot of in other places.
Yeah, that's so true. Like I feel like that's exactly it. Like every area has like its own feel and it's like its own its own thing. And even with me, like my goal, for some reason I always knew I wanted to live here in the city, but always, you know, I mean, when we get rich enough just to like leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back, maybe another crib in another city, but this is always going to be like, I'm going to be here most of the time of the year, you know?
So you've been at this for a few years now. What is your favorite part of going out on the street?
Man, well, I'll tell you what, yo. So like at this point, it's literally like, as I get older, like I have a routine. Like I try to keep a routine, but like at this point, it's therapy. Like I have to go shoot. Like I have to put earphones in. I have to play music. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, and then just find dope people on the street and just have that quick interaction. Like, yo, this is what it's for. Da 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 da, and then be out. And like, it's legit. Like I have to do it. Like today, I couldn't do it because it was pretty shitty out. But like I've realized in these later years that I've been doing it. Like I have to do it. And it just makes me happy. Like it makes, and the next part is just like sharing it. It's just like, you know, coming to edit and like can't wait for the people to see like what I got. And like that's like, you know, the social media is a drug already. So like for me, it's like that's the drug. And it's like, yo, getting it out and then hoping people like it. And then so it's legit therapy for me. So I think that's the favorite part, is just going out and shooting. And just like tricking your mind to like, because if it is cold, you know, I could stay in the crib, you know, but like, but it's just like even the part of like tricking your mind, like it ain't even that cold. Let's go get it. Like that's therapy too. It's just like, damn, like I didn't stay in the house, you know. So it's just like all of that. That's my favorite parts of it for sure.
Awesome. So we got another audience question. How often are you out there? Weather permitting, of course.
Yeah, every day. So like most of the times I capture, it's like in between things. Like, yo, I'm like, you know, going somewhere, but I have to walk. So it's just like in between catching things. But so it's pretty daily, you know, like you said, as far as the weather, according to the weather. But like I said, more of late, it's been like, I have to, like, I get done with everything, emails, like, you know, schedule shoots. And then like, I have to like set a time, like, yo, we going out to shoot until the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? So like just for an hour and a half to, so pretty much every day. And my new thing is really like the mental aspect. Cause there's times where it's just like, it still be sunny out. But it's just like, I want to go home. Like I'm tired of, but then it's just like, nah, like let's stay out an extra hour and then you get some fire time. So
that's
it's just like,
that's usually when the best shots come, when you're like, I am sick of this. My back hurts. I would like to go home, put on some indoor clothes and just not.
Yeah. Yo, that's exactly it. It's just like my feet hurt. Like, it'll be sunny tomorrow. Like, I'll come out, it'll be nice. It'll be just as nice. So, but like, my thing is, it's like really like, I don't know. It's just like fun to see how far. It's like, yo, I'm a trick. I know this is just my mind. I can go another hour, and then you get some of the best content when you push it.
So you kind of brought this up, but how do you decide what to post? I know when I'm out with my camera, if I'm out for an hour, I might come home with 300 photos. How do you decide what to post?
See, and for me, it's a little bit it's opposite for me, because it's like I'll have days where it's just like I'm getting heat after heat after heat. It's like every corner I turn, somebody's looking fly, or like it's just dope. Like, I just have days where I'm catching like 10 dope people at a time. And then some days it's just I literally I get nothing, or nothing really hits me like that. Or but my problem is like I said, on those days where I might get a lot of content, my thing is I have to like the discipline aspect, where it's like I just want to get them out like that day. So I'll post 3 a day, but but now I'm trying to like, all right, just give them 2, and then you can do 2 tomorrow, like, and then I can space it out, and then it'll just be more content. It's just the smarter thing to do.
Sure.
But like, I get so caught up on just like, I want to get this out like in the same day, but it's just so much smarter just to release it over days, and then so you just have consistent content. But yeah, but honestly, it's kind of different. So I have days where I get a lot, some days where I get 1, some days where I get some. It varies, but it's usually less than more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of switching gears a little bit, but you have done a lot of branded and like partnerships with local companies and organizations. And I have to ask, because as Black creatives, it's a question that comes up, right? Does it ever feel like they're trying to prove something by hiring you? And maybe they're less interested in your artistry and more your face?
For sure. But yeah, no, 100%, especially since, 2020, with like, George Floyd, everything that transpired over that summer, and all of that. Most definitely. But what I'll say is that, I mean, I don't even know how this sounds, but like, I literally had a conversation with my homies. It was just like, we're in a position to use that to our advantage. It's like, yo, get this bag, man. It's like, if you like, I know you hear that so much, but like, granted, they might be just coming to you because it's like, yo, they're scrambling because we need Black faces, we need Black creators, we need, so it is a scramble. But I mean, it's due, for one, it's due, and that may be the case, but charge what you think you're worth. And if you don't know what you're worth, ask around, Google and see, yo, what's such and such getting paid? How much do you charge for this? Like, yo, Google. Like, we have so many things at our fingertips. So anyway, but yeah, know your worth, get your bag. But yeah, I would say so. I think these brands, and I think they're scrambling in general when it comes to like social media, and I think they're finally realizing that this is where all their ad money has to go. Like, this is, TikToks, like they're finally getting it. So, I've gotten a lot of more brands reaching out, which I love it. Please keep reaching out. I'm a Black artist, keep reaching out. But most definitely. But I'm not complaining. What I'll say to Black artists, use it to your advantage. If you have ideas that, take it to these brands. Like, you'll be so surprised that like, yo, these brands, like, you have an idea. I've literally I came up with whole campaigns that brands weren't even thinking about. Just going out on a limb. Hey, I got this, I got this idea. They fully went with it. I got the money I was deserved, and it all came from me just had that idea and went to it. But use it to the advantage. I'll say use it to your advantage.
So we got an audience question. Are you doing any personal photography right now?
Starting at the beginning of March, I will be. So like, I usually every year, and especially I've been like just closer to when it's getting warmer, It's just so much easier, like especially shooting families and stuff like that with the kids. It's just like they're over the cold, but it's just easier. And for me too, it's just like it's not the most fun shooting.
Sure.
So but yeah, definitely starting in March, I usually put a post out telling people where to hit me to
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so going backwards a little bit, I do just kind of want to respond to something that you had hinted at, but it's really rough in Pittsburgh, in the Rust Belt in general,
For sure.
to be a Black creative.
Mm-hmm.
One, because people feel like you don't exist. And they're really quick to tell you that for some reason. I didn't know there were Black photographers. I didn't know there were Black artists. I didn't
Yeah.
know there were Black people in that area.
Damn, bold.
It's super weird. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to that. But
Yeah.
it is so important, I think, for us to take advantage of every opportunity, whether it feels like they want a token or not. Cash their check, take their money, and put your face out there. Like, take advantage of the opportunity, because if they're willing to give it to you, you have nothing to lose.
Exactly. Yo, like, I'm sorry, my cat is chasing a fly, got a bright light, and this fly is attracted to the light. Yeah. But I'm sorry. So you're saying, like, yo, like telling artists just to put their self out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many grant opportunities, I think, in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And I have found that a lot of the ones that I've applied for, or a lot of the projects that I've applied for and gotten pretty far in the process, I might be the only, or like one of 2 or 3 Black people at that stage. And I'm always so confused because I know so many Black artists 100. In the area. And it's like, are they not getting the opportunities? Do they feel like they're not good enough to apply? Where's the disconnect here?
Yeah, like, so I tell you, I deal with that a lot. It's usually like, so like I've it's encouraging and discouraging, because like I've built this page, I built this platform, and it's like I feel blessed that I am in a position, because usually people reach out to me and I'm like, nah, such as a Black artist, such and such, you should reach out to them. Like, you should do that, And it's the best feeling when they do, man. And it's like, they didn't even know. So it's just so, how did you not know? But it's a little discouraging, but I think, as you said, for one, a responsibility for us to just to put ourselves out more. Like, so like, I knew when I started this page, I knew I was going to capture these photos, and I knew people was going to see my face in between these photos. That was always, from when I first started, that was always the plan, the brand, like, to show my love for Pittsburgh, to show the beautiful people of it. And then what I've seen every celebrity do, like what I've seen our movie stars or athletes do, they show themselves and name them commercials, they get them brand deals. And that's how I kind of looked at it, from like an athlete kind of perspective. Like, yo, I'm gonna do my thing on the court, and then off the court, I'm gonna get these commercials. I'm gonna get these, So that's kind of how That's how I looked at it from the jump. So yeah, like, show your personality, like show people like how funny you are along with your art. I mean, the art is always gonna come first, but like,
sure,
at some point, the personality might grow so much that they want you more. So it's who knows what could happen. But yeah, first putting yourself out there, for sure, along with the work. And granted, that doesn't work for everybody, but like, I just feel like it's worked for me, and I feel like it's the best. It broadens your chances to accomplish what you want to accomplish in the long run. But
yeah, no, like, if your personality sucks, you absolutely should not be leading with that. But if your personality does not suck, absolutely make that like a part of your quote unquote brand, because that's what these companies, these corporations are hiring when they reach out to you. want you to do the work because of you.
Right. Exactly. And especially yeah, man, it's just and the other thing is just consistency. Like you know, when you low, like when you only got 100 followers, and like the thing is can you post when you get 10 likes? Can you keep posting? Like, can you keep posting through that and keep, like, that's the thing. It's just consistency, and consistency and quality is always the base for everything to sprout from. Consistency and quality from jump.
All right. So switching gears a little bit, on the website, you say that you really want to use your platform to spread Pittsburgh culture. Now, I have a few feelings. I have a few feelings about that, but what is Pittsburgh culture?
So I didn't edit that on my site. I didn't edit that on my site.
Okay.
It's put through my eyes. Like I actually I did it was an article, and like it was like through my eyes, I guess I would say, because like I guess I don't know, man. Like I guess yeah, through my eyes, and just on a more singular level, I guess through just what I capture and photos and art. But yeah, through my eyes. But what would you like? And and honestly, yo, that's what does that mean? Honestly, now like, because I've never really had anybody ask me that.
Sure. I mean, as a transplant, again, I've been here for less than 5 years. I love Pittsburgh. I do. I don't see myself living anywhere else. But when people say Pittsburgh culture, in my mind, it gets to spinning, because I'm like, is that the Pittsburgh left? Is that pickles? Is that expensive grocery stores? Like, what exactly is Pittsburgh culture? But I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier. People are just so freaking nice here, which is not something I ever experienced in Miami. You can walk into a store in Miami and they'll talk about you to your face, and then ask you if you're gonna buy something. That's the thing that happens, and they'll do it in Spanish because they assume that you can't speak Spanish.
Right.
But in Pittsburgh, like, they'll come, they'll say hello when you walk in the door. Can I help you find anything? What are you looking for today? If they don't have it, they'll send you somewhere that does. That's just, I feel like that really encompasses like the spirit of what a Pittsburgher or a Yinzer is. That's another thing. You guys have your own language, which
well, I'll say that, like, and I'll say that even with that Yinzer thing, like, that's never been my, like, I've never said Yinzer, like, and maybe like in jet, like, you know, Yinzer, like just being funny, or like,
sure.
It's never been a part of my real vernacular, like Yinzer, or so. Yeah, that's not my culture. But like, I guess in my mind, like, my goal is to put us on, like, so like I'm trying to put us on in this culture. So like, again, like Pittsburgh is a white culture. Basically, it's like some things, like, you know, it's just not mine. It's not my, it's not our culture. But it's just like, I don't want to say, I guess I'm just in it. Like, yo, I'm here. Like, it's just like, I still love this city. Like, I love the black people. I love the white people. Like, I'm just here, and I want to just do my part to, like, to give us more opportunities. Like,
sure.
Yo, I built this platform in this white city, in this, like, I did it. I built it up to a certain point. I'm not done, but I'm just like, but now I'm in a space where it's like, all them, like, them black videographers, like, yo, let's get it. Yo, like, all them brands that reach, yo, you know, you should reach out to, So like, just doing my part, so like, so these companies can again keep reaching out to them, and again keep reaching out to them, so they can keep building, they keep getting bags, and then they'll do the same thing for their homie, who not even homie, but just the next black person who is talented. Sure. Get the job done. That's the thing, getting the job done. Can you get the job done? And but that's my goal, is just to, like, build that culture. For us. So and there already is some. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, for sure. And like in the photography sense, like Teenie Harris laid down the groundwork and going back to photos and capturing what Black life looked like. And yeah, man. So it's already here. And like we've been a part of historical moments in Black history in general. So, but I know what you're saying. Like so that's it's very frustrating at times, yeah, man. But
I mean, two of my favorite photographers are Teenie Harris and Latoya Ruby Frazier, who are both from the area. And I think they do a really good job of capturing Black life in the Pittsburgh area, in the Rust Belt, whatever you want to call it. And so when I first fell in love with street photography, to me, my brain automatically associated it with Pittsburgh before I ever even got here. But I mean, I think part of the frustration for me, at least, is sometimes I do go whole days without seeing another Black person, which is really weird for me coming from Miami, right? So I might go out on the street fully intending to get photos, but I might not see a Black person that day, which is very weird for me. Like I have to go to a specific area. When I moved here, one of the things I was most worried about was my mom is Jamaican. Am I going to be able to get actual Jamaican food? Is that a thing? Because where am I going to go?
On Federal Street? That's the only spot.
You know what? For maybe a year or two, I did so much searching. Finally found a food truck. They are in Wilkinsburg, usually at the beer distributor, Caribbean Vibes. If you haven't been, I'm obsessed with them. They're so good. But it's just little stuff like that that I think we take for granted in Black communities.
Yo. So I'm so glad you brought that up. Because that's the most frustrating thing for me. Because I move around so much, and like I move around. And like everywhere I go, like it's me. Like I'm talking about from restaurants to big ass grocery stores.
Right.
Like and that's kind of frustrating. That's PTSD because like I grew up in Aliquippa, in the hood, the projects, but you know some counties and some lines, like you might live on the other side of the street and then go to a completely different school. So like I lived in Aliquippa, went to Hopewell, which is in Aliquippa, but it's predominantly white. And I remember like I would be begging my mom, like, yo, let me go to Aliquippa, like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm so glad she didn't. Because it did kind of let me know how certain people think and like, you know, why, like, and kind of expose me to certain things that I am happy that I was exposed to. But I was saying it's kind of PTSD for me because I came to school every day and it was all white people, and a couple other of us soldiers in the trenches. But no, I enjoyed school. I had a great high school time. But at the same time, you still want to see you still want to see us, like, and for that to be normal, like for that, you know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be like a big deal. Like, and I'm kind of even just Black History Month. I'm kind of just like, you know, and that's kind of started more as I've gotten older. Just like this shouldn't, like, you just implement it. Like just put like, yo, just put the info in the books. Like this shouldn't be a big month thing. Like just do it. Like just make it a part of history, yo. And like those stuff bugs me. But I don't know, but that's the most frustrating part is just like going to popular restaurant, like, and you just being the only brother there. And it's just like, and even with that, like, yeah. So yeah, that's the most frustrating.
I just wanted to say, I saw Vondre Clark, who's another amazing local Black photographer. And so I just wanted to say, hi, I love your work. But so again, switching gears a little bit, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but is it a conscious effort or conscious decision for you when you're capturing Pittsburgh? Do you make it a point to seek out Black faces? Like if you see them, do you go out of your way?
No, like literally with that, it's literally like, man, it's I call it a reaction. It's literally a reaction now. It's just like, you know, of course, something is obvious, like, yo, they got a crazy fit on, or like, you know, some kind of piece. But sometimes it's not. Like, sometimes it's just like, why was I even attracted? So it's not whether they're black, white, anything. It's just like they just happen to be black or white. Like yeah, it's never any point to like seek out a black person or anything. But you know, we do be fly as hell here, and you know, so
true.
It happens more often than not. But no, it's not like seeking it out. But
okay.
But sorry not to cut you off, but like I look at my feed and like that's the most proud I am about my feed, because it to me at least, like it feels diverse, like it feels like, and like, you know, we here, so we know, but it's like, and that was the goal for me anyway. It's just like people outside of Pittsburgh looking at my page or looking in, they're like, damn, look diverse. Like I want it to be that. I want it to become more of that. And you know, of course, it'll take more time, but that's my goal, and for it to be normal.
Yeah. I mean, it always feels like a win when you beat the algorithm at its own game.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started or first created my photography Instagram, all I saw was white people.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with, you know, any conscious decision that I made. That's just how social media feeds photography or feeds art to people. Once I joined Black women photographers and I started following other Black women photographers, my feed changed overnight. I started seeing darker and darker skin. I started seeing curly and nappy hair. I started seeing grills. I started seeing all of that stuff in my feed on a regular basis. And it felt like a completely different experience.
No, it's like, it's so sad that you gotta even, like, you just gotta seek it out. Like, you know, but it's just like, but that's the thing, like going back to we were talking about earlier, does it feel like, you know, they're just coming after you for just, you know, because you're a Black artist? But I mean, whether, like I said, if that's how it has to happen, it has to happen now. Like, you know, like just the, you know, granted they're trying to protect their bottom line or, you know, whatever, but like whatever, I'll take it. Like, so it can be when you open a new social app, like you do see us, and it's fucking normal. It's not like, oh, why is it Black History Month? Like, why is all these? It shouldn't be. It can be fucking June, and like, you know, you open. So that's why just making it normal, and
right.
Yeah, but yeah.
So amazingly, we only have about 20 minutes left. So I want to ask a few Pittsburgh specific questions, because you're the first Pittsburgh photographer that I've actually gotten to interview for this series.
What?
So first question, where do you go to eat?
Oh my God, that's easy. So like, I got like when I find something, I run it into the ground, like a song, like I'll play it back to, like, until I hate it. And I'm at that point with a Federal Galley on the north side. It's like almost like you know, it's like an incubator for different food spots. And man, Provision, there's a spot in there called Provision. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the other spots taste like in there. Like, that's the only thing I get in there is Provision. But I know everything else, I'm sure, because all my friends get it and they like it. But Provision at Federal Galley is my spot. The fries with the dipping sauce, it's like, oh my God. It's
I love Provision.
Yeah, it don't make sense. But yeah, Federal Galley. What else do I like? What else do I like? Jeez Louise. So I love sushi. So number one sushi, in Market Square is one of my favorites. Well, Carmi's. I haven't been to Carmi's in like 2 years, man. Carmi's is fire. It put me out. Like, I gotta be prepared.
Test, right?
Yeah, I gotta be prepared to go to sleep. Like, there's nothing happening after that goes down the tank. So it's like, but I'm happy for them, man, because they was in the north side, and they got 2 locations.
I think they have 2 now.
Yeah, man. So it's just like, but I haven't had them in a while. But I would say my sushi, number one sushi in Federal Galley is where I eat the most.
Okay. I'll be a good sport and answer my own question. Dive Bar gets entirely too much of my money.
Yeah.
Specifically the one in Lawrenceville.
Mm.
Their potato croquettes are ridiculous.
Okay.
It's literally just fried mashed potatoes, but I'm an adult and I can spend my money how I want.
You did exactly. You work hard for your money. What's that commercial?
Dive Bar and Las Palmas, the tacos.
Oh, okay. Yes. Excellent choice. And this is so basic, but I gotta throw this in. I just said the fried potatoes, but the fried buffalo chicken dip from Cheesecake Factory.
Really?
Yeah, I spent I was upset at myself for this one, but I had them like the night before at a friend's house, and they were so good. And then I was at home, and DoorDash, Uber Eats, so ridiculous with them fees, man. Like I ended up paying
it hurts every time.
And I never got Cheesecake Factory on DoorDash, but it came out to so much money, and I just got that buffalo chicken dip, but it was so worth it. It was I wasn't even mad. It was they're so good.
That's how I feel about them potato croquettes. Don't ask me how I spent $30 on mashed potatoes, but I did it.
Yay. And it felt good going down.
It did. Okay, so we answered where do you eat? Where do you go to get a drink? Or pre-pandemic, I guess. Where did you go?
To get so my favorite spot is just the Goldmark and Lawrenceville. DJ's good dude. That's the spot. But I'm trying to think the spot I've been going with my girl is Bar Botanica in Lawrenceville. I love the vibe in there. It's tight. It's it's smaller. It's just the vibe. It's just always conversation noise in the background, and you can look out into the street when it's warm, it's open. So yeah, I like that vibe. Damn, what's my other spot, man? Yeah, and I'm gonna say where everybody else would want to go, wherever my friend, I don't know. But yeah, I don't really.
Okay. That's fair. Pre-pandemic, Blue Moon.
Hey.
Fantastic drag show.
For sure.
Just incredible. And the drinks are not bad either. So that was always my first choice. If it was after work, though, because before life happens, I used to work in the Hill District, so I had to go downtown to get home. I would go to 941 Saloon on Liberty, but they closed during the pandemic, so now I got to find another downtown bar.
The one I'll suggest is they make really cool cocktails is Bridges and Bourbon.
Okay.
They make all the ones with the smoke coming out.
And, wow, that's fancy.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Especially a Friday night, it's a or even after work, it's a cool vibe. It's always people in there. I always see people in there.
Interesting. All right, I will definitely take note of that. So, final Pittsburgh question. Okay. Do you have a local camera store?
Man, I would say thinking about downtown, I can't think of the name. That's a shame.
The one in Market Square?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. I go in there all the time just to grab camera straps and stuff like that, little anything little I need. That's the one I would say. And I pretty much use my 50. My gear don't change up too much, man. That's what I kind of learned early in photo. I found what I just stuck to it, and I really don't veer too much off the path. But yeah, damn, little spot in Market Square.
That is also my first choice locally. And I mean, I feel the same way. I have my 50, I have my 85, I have the two bodies that I like, and I have the light setup that I like. I'm not really inclined to go out and spend a bunch of money at this point.
Nah, and like sometimes that's why I feel like a fraud sometimes, because I hear like people be like they be having some gear, man, and I know the quality is, you know, it helps the quality for sure. And honestly, I'm like, damn, like, man, if I don't know, if maybe I should upgrade, it should be like even more epic to me. So it's just like, but that's why I feel like a fraud sometimes. I use the same body, same lens, like all the time.
There are days where I go out with my T6 and a kit lens because it gets the job done.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me the difference between something from my Mark II and my T6. I dare you to tell me there's a difference.
Yeah, and like I don't know how you like. I feel like because I do see like the mirrorless and like a friend of mine, Cam Brown. He was in here a little bit. I don't know if he's still in here, but like they got the mirrorless and the little Sony guys. And those just be so clean. They be so sleek. But like I just like in the streets, I feel like a person is more comfortable seeing like this big body. They kind of like they think that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
oh, he ain't no creepy shit. Like it's
right.
Okay, you know, so I feel better just with that heavy body and the battery kit.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, so I love it.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. Okay. Yeah. So last two questions.
Sure.
Is there anything that I missed that you super wanted to talk about?
No, not necessarily anything you missed. I just always want to just put out, man, like it's not to get too deep on the ASMP, you know, podcast or whatever on the ASMP show. But yo, like my biggest thing I tell everybody, I truly believe like we're here for something. Like we're here to do something. Like we're like you're just not born for no reason. Like whatever idea, whatever thing you know in your spirit is what you're supposed to be doing, do it. Like everything ain't about money. Everything is about happiness. And like you are here for a reason. A big part of your happiness is that you're supposed to be doing that. And like just whoever listening, take the step, man. Like you're gonna have rough ass days, you're gonna have rough times, but it's like, you know, especially if it's entrepreneurship or anything like that, but it's worth it, man. Like it's just do it. Like that idea is not in your head for no reason. Like that was given to you specifically from whoever, if you're religious, whatever, like wherever it came from, like it's for a reason. So, and it's supposed to be put out into the world. That's my biggest thing. I just see people with like the illest talent and like the illest things, and they be telling me what they want to do. I'm like, yo, and the ideas be like so ill, but like they just never take that next step. It's just either, and I understand the fear, because it's like it's real fear that comes along with doing, you know, something different or, you know, something new for you. So, but you know, that's all a part of the dream, is conquering that fear. That's the first part. So, yo, do it, man. Whether it's being a garbage man, the illest garbage man, whatever, yo, do that shit, yo. Sorry, I swear, but do it.
I know, I completely agree. Last question, and I did see it come up in the chat as well, but where can people find you? How can people support you? And where can people get the hat that you're wearing?
So the hat is sold out. It is going to make a return though. It's like the first like kind of staple piece. So it's going to come back. A lot of merch on the way this year. A lot of branding, but yeah, keep PittsburghDope.com is where you can find like the merch drops coming up. Of course, on Instagram, keep Pittsburgh Dope, and yeah, I got some really big things in the works, and I'm just really excited I can't talk about it, but like I'm just really excited, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, just putting us on. I'm like, yo, like it is what it is. We in Pittsburgh, we in the city, but like we got to make it shake, and we got to get everybody opportunities. So let's not complain about this. Let's get in position. Let's work hard to get in positions, and let's put each other on. It's like,
absolutely.
That's it.
Well, I'm so glad that we could use ASMP to help share your platform and your work. And like I said, street photography is my first love. So I'm so happy that I personally was introduced to your work through this process.
Damn, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Like this is what this technology is for, and like social media is just like literally things like this, and just info and inspiration, and just like things people can really use in day to day. So yeah, I'm honored to be on. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. For everyone watching, our next interview will be tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. with Ime Aliquiva, the Emmy Award-winning filmmaker and photographer, also a Pittsburgh local. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to do so. Again, thank you so much for spending an hour with me.
Hey, wait, I want to say something about Ime too. Yo, he doesn't get. I mean, he has Emmys, and like he does like I feel like he doesn't get his flowers enough either. Though, so I'm glad you're having him on here, and like I feel like people need to know really what he does. And you want to talk about people putting on people
absolutely
putting on, like he's one of my people I've looked at. So like man. So yeah. That's great.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for it. Again, thank you for giving me an hour of your time. Thank you to everyone that was watching. Have a wonderful night.
Peace.